Hello everyone, Journeyman here and welcome to part 2 of the Harry Kane team on this Football Manager 2018 beta save. So we've gone through pre-season, we signed a couple players and we are just on the eve of the first competitive game for Tottenham Hotspurs. So up against Burnley first and foremost, and then we play West Ham just a week later. We'll try and do this a double header in this episode, but first and foremost, let's go check out the transfers in that we've brought in. Basically, we've brought in 2 transfers. First of all was Mario Fellaini for 10.5 million. I thought he might be a really good, useful rotation player for the season, and at 10 million pounds, I felt like it was a pretty solid sign-in. He can also play up top and in the attacking midfield role, as well as his centre midfield role pretty naturally. So his versatility is going to come in handy this season, as well as being decent at set pieces too. Height 6'4". We know how good this guy is in the air, and he definitely will be useful on set pieces. But the big money signing was possibly Mario Götze. We signed him for Mario Götze, there you go, for 59 million pounds. Feels like maybe a little bit of an overpay, but I wanted to make a big summer signing, and this was the man that I decided to spend pretty much every single penny I had on. And we brought him in. He's an attacking midfielder naturally. Very much in the kind of Mesut Ozil role. The only question marks really surrounding him is his physical ability. Now, obviously, he's not particularly quick, not particularly strong. It's going to be interesting to see how he translates his technical skills into the Premier League. But I have no doubt he will be a very good signing for us, and I think he'll be the signing that helps us push us over the top and get us into title contention. So anyway, pre-season went pretty well. Let's go check out those results real quick. Only one defeat. That was against Columbus. We dominated the game, but still really failed, honestly, on that one. That was just no more than a fail. After that, we got some pretty good results in the beat Aston Villa, beat Hearts 4-2. I had to change a lot around my fixtures just because I wanted to. I don't know, a lot of teams cancelled. It didn't really work out. My assistant manager, for some reason, was automatically in charge of making fixtures, and honestly, he came up with some really crap ones. So I just did it myself anyway. Pre-season form, Harry Kane, naturally, he was spectacular. 10 goals in 7 starts for him. 8.21. Yeah, he's going to score a lot of goals this season. Let's go over the tactics real quick. A couple of slight changes. This is how we're probably going to line up against Burnley tomorrow. We got Götze, Eriksen, Ali through the middle. Götze is going to be attacking midfielder, just play behind Harry Kane. Is a bit more of an advanced forward. That role suits him a little bit more. At the back, we've pretty much gone like for like, honestly. You've still got a fullback there. A couple of small changes: mentality, control, fluid on the team shape, and we're playing a little bit more narrow, lower tempo, closing down a little bit more as well. And that's actually helped us on the defensive end, I've noticed, in pre-season. So what I find really useful so far is the analysis of the team. So when we get a tactical analysis, the feedback's been really, really good. That's what I've noticed about it. There's lots of little changes so far this year, and honestly, I'm been really surprised. I'm very, very happy with those little changes. Lots of little things. As soon as I see some, I'll point them out to you. But definitely the tactical feedback that you get is definitely much more in-depth and much more helpful this year than it was last year. With that being said, I do have a pre-match Let's Go briefing to go through. This is the first one I'm actually going to do live in person. So let's go and handle the briefing ourselves. So this is the main screen. I've seen it before on the previews. So most of the teams look far from interested listening, despite the fair atmosphere overall. So I can talk to the team individually. Formation 4-2-3-1 narrow, control, fluid. Okay, so I can do individual instructions. I can just do individual. I don't really want to do this. Change anything in the team instructions because I want to keep them consistent. They're still learning this new tactic that I've put on them, so I'm not going to change anything to there. The opposition could give opposition feedback here. So up against Burnley, no one really scares me about Burnley. Chris Wood, perhaps we could probably show him once it was a weaker foot. There, Robbie Brady, I've seen him do some things, so we'll show him on his weaker foot. Jonathan Walters. We know he's good in the air. We don't have to close him down as much. He's not going to really beat us in pace, so we can step off him a little bit. We'll go with that for now. So there you go. Opposition instructions are done. Changes the squad. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, add scenario. So if we're winning by 2 goals, I want, at any time, I want to switch this back to more of a counter-attacking fluid style. So that's actually pretty cool. You can actually set the match plans ahead of time. I think, you could do it a little bit, I guess, in the last one if you're doing an automatic game. I think FM Touch it specialized in. So it's kind of interesting they brought it into the FM Classic here. But yeah, we're going to go with that. That's fine. I don't really need to go any further than this. I think that's good. So, all right. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really useful to me. Again, these would be more useful, I guess, when you're going up for like the European Cup final and those kind of games. But I don't really see myself using that all too often because it was basic instructions. I'm not a tinker kind of manager. I like to stay with formation and I like to make tweaks here and there, but not very often. I'm loving this scouting system, by the way. So basically, what I've noticed with this is that basically you just get sent a load of scouting reports and you're told if you want to continue scouting them, find out more about them. And instead of having to go to the scouting screen and find them individually, you just get more frequent updates from your scouting team. So again, they've scouted Macon 100% now. He's currently operating at the Premier League level. And if you click on him, there's a much more clearer, detailed kind of like detailed description or detailed overview of what this player is, and then you can either acknowledge it or just discard it. I'm going to discard it because I haven't got the money to sign him anymore. I pretty much spent every single penny I had on Goetze. So Gabriel Jesus, I'd love to bring him in. Let's keep scouting. I'm going to do an analysis report on whoever this guy is to show you what that looks like. And then again, this just keeps going. So you got 46, as you can see at the bottom here. I haven't been keeping up with them very much. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure there's a cap or a limit to it, or maybe it eats into your budget. I don't know the answer to that yet, but as soon as I do, I'll definitely let you know. But anyway, to the task at hand, we're up against Burnley today. Now, I've noticed there are little bugs still in the game itself. Right now, as you can see, we've got no transfer budget. Lots of wage budget left, though, so that's good. But anyway, to Taskaham, up against Burnley. Obviously, this is a game that we should be winning and winning comfortably. What I noticed in pre-season is that we did actually struggle to create opportunities despite how many attacking playmakers and playmaking talent we do have. I've noticed that injuries play a bigger part this year, too, so far. There's lots of little niggles and knocks and stuff like that. That probably goes hand in hand with the sports science module that they included this year. So today's game, obviously missing a couple of players, but what I'm going to do is, I got some decent players come in though. Kieran Trippier is fine to come in there, and I can bring in Dembele there, and he'll do a decent job next to Wanyama. But I really like how this tactical screen looks. I like that it shows you the weaknesses in your team, and if you click on the square itself or hover over it, there still are some minor issues and explains what the minor issues are, so you can help address it, make little tweaks here and there, things like that. Again, we're not sure how accurate this is yet, but so far I'm loving the way this looks. As far as a tactical side of things, if you're a tactical kind of manager, football manager, it is a fantastic addition. No doubt about it. So, going into today's team, we're going to line up like this. I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty much going to be mostly our first team. I called Ben Davis Tom Davis last time out. Tom Davis is the Everton midfielder. Ben Davis is the left back. So, corrected right there for you before you guys jump on me. Ben Davis is his name, not Tom. All right, moving forward. All right, so Michael Vormop's going to be in goal. We'll do Sanchez at the back. We'll have Walker Peters can play both. Right back, left back. We have Harry Winks, Fellaini, and then we got some problems now. Llorente and Son are struggling, but we don't have really many options. As you can see, tons of injuries. I'm not sure if that was a reoccurring bug from last year's game or the game before that. I felt like every single version of Football Manager, at least the first version, has huge injury problems, and I'm not sure if it's anything to do with the sports science module, or maybe it's something to do just with a good old-fashioned Football Manager bug. Anyway, so let's go in today's game. Obviously, Trippier and Dembele are going to be struggling for match fitness because I pretty much kept the same team. And by the way, I love this. This is fantastic. This is my new favorite feature so far. It's really aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't really add anything to the game, but at the same time, it's just makes it look more professional, makes it look more fun. This element to it, I'm still getting used to this one too. What I do like, though, is the fact that I'll show you in a second what you can do. It's all in the favorites. Okay, so when you do individual team talk, what you could do here is just by holding the control You can pretty much select 3 players individually and then talk to those players as a group. And I'm going to tell them I have faith in them, and Goethe responded positively. And yeah, so that's really nice. You can just like click and then you can add and you can talk to those players individually instead of having to go individually click. Just nice to be able to click kind of a selection of players and give them the same kind of team talk to everyone on the same page. So this is also new too. This is, well, not new, but it's a new background, I should say. I've noticed that the questions and the answer options are pretty much the same as last year. So, I mean, they're as boring as ever. But here we go. We are at Burnley, and let's try and get off to a good start. I want to get a win today. We should get a win. We are a very, very good team, and I've got a lot of faith in the side, honestly. I haven't had this much confidence in the team in a long, long time. All right, here's the first highlight of the Premier League season for us. Here's Moussa Dembele to Eriksen. Eriksen has Davis on the overlap, and he finds him. Here's Dele Alli to Dembele. Intercepted there, and Jack Cork boots it clear. And Chris Wood's going to give chase here. Vertonghen has to be careful when he is. Hugo Lloris is going to play out here to Trippier. Oh, that's a poor pass there from Trippier. And there's Robbie Brady. Hits it forward to Jonathan Walters. Walters gets the byline, pulls it back. And Hugo Lloris, I'm not sure if he saved it or hit the post, but whatever the occurrence was, it's now going out for a corner kick as Robbie Brady whips it in. That's something I actually forgot to do. I didn't do any set pieces yet. That's something I forgot to do. That's my bad. And look at all these injuries already. Look, first game of the season, and pretty much the whole of the Burnley midfield are injured. Again, I'm not sure if that's a bug or that's just how things are going to play out. Like it's going to really emphasize that players get little nicks and knocks for the season. I don't know if that's something they've added this year, but whatever the case, it's a little bit concerning that it's happened this early on. I mean, it's happened for Burnley, so I'm not too bothered about it. But still, if I was a manager and I saw my home midfield was out injured, I'll be pretty peeved. All right, and Jack Cork actually got himself injured now. He's done. All right, so halftime, nothing's happened. So very, very boring so far. Let's look at the team analysis real quick. See what... let's go to summary. So we've got a lot of green here. That means it's good. Harry Kane hasn't got any chances yet, and he hasn't won many headers. So it looks like a little bit isolated up top. We've a majority of possession, 57%. I'd like to get a little bit higher there. Most of them only lost possession more than any other player. Victor Wanyama won back possession than any other player, and not enough touches in the penalty area. So we are struggling to break them down. So they're playing a very defensive formation. We could probably go out into the second half and win this one, I guess. We have the quality. We should be creating more chances than we are, but I'm not 100% sure why we aren't creating those chances. So second half, here it is. Maybe we'll break them down eventually. But as you can see, they've got a lot of men behind the ball here. Pretty much 11 men behind the ball. All right, 60 minutes, nothing's changed so far. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put Goetze up top. He's not really a striker, but he can do a solid job there. So what I'm going to do then is have him play as a false 9. I'm going to have him drop in the hole still just to help out Ali and Eriksen, create more opportunities. Harry Kane, he's been very, very poor today, actually. Not been really like him. I'm also going to bring on Winks as well, just to add a little bit more flair to the midfield as a deep line playmaker. And Wanyama, he can get forward a bit more and support the attack. Not really an attacking player, but if you can win the ball higher up the field, that'd be helpful. Here's a chance, maybe. Goetze. Oh, good save there for Tom Heaton. That was really the first chance of the game for us, to be honest with you. And it fall to the new record signing. Yeah, I mean, Burnley have barely got out of their half. As you can see, they haven't had a single shot on goal. And that was quite an interesting looking throw-in. All right, so here's Alderweireld to Trippier. Dele Alli's come deep for the ball. He keeps getting deeper and deeper. Here's Harry Kane. Gives the ball away cheaply. Here's Jonathan Walters now. Counter-attack for Burnley. And that was a very, we'll go with speculative effort. That was definitely considered a speculative effort. This event screen is also a little weird too. It doesn't really tell you what it is. That's obviously a shot. The yellow marking is obviously a shot. Let's make a quick change again. We're not winning. We don't look like we're going to win here. We just can't break them down. Let's go attack. Let's move. Let's play a bit wider, shall we? Ali, you can play as that. Eriksen, you can play as an inside forward. Could bring a Fellaini for the last bit of the game if you wanted to. Actually, let's play Goetze out wide. and let's play him as advanced playmaker on attack. Nope, I said advanced playmaker on attack, and then we'll bring on Fellaini up top, play as kind of an emergency striker, play him as a target man. Alright, let's give this a go, see if that helps any, because you haven't really done very well this first game. I was hoping for a bit better performance. Again, these are games that we should be winning comfortably. Alright. A couple minutes out on here. Looks like it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a very disappointing draw. One thing I do like they've added this year is, you may have noticed a second ago, there was a little notification at the top that told you a little bit about the player. It was their first yellow card of the season, or when a player comes on, there's a brief description of what they are. If they were like a young promising midfielder or just a regular target man kind of striker, it tells you what they are when they come on. So if you don't know who they are, it gives you a rough idea of what kind of player is coming on. So that's actually a really nice touch. But unfortunately, this is a very disappointing display. Obviously, we dominated them. We didn't really carve too many clear-cut opportunities. I'm going to let my assistant manager eat them up because it wasn't really a good enough performance. But yeah, so first game, we played like shit, honestly. We kept the clean sheet, which is great, but these are games that we should be winning and winning comfortably. So, disappointment. Let's go into... I'll join you guys back at the next one, which is West Ham at home. This game should be a bit more open. West Ham are probably more likely to attack us than Burnley would. They played very, very defensive from the start, and we just had a tough time breaking them down. Alright, so here we are on the eve now of the West Ham fixture at home. West Ham looks like they won last time out. Yep, they won by 2 goals. Don't know who they played. I'm sure it doesn't really matter. However, this will be a bit tougher match than Burnley away from home. But Burnley did play a very, very defensive system. We just had a tough time really breaking them down. This is interesting though. If you look at their West Ham report, they are slow starters. A rather high 4-6 goal conceded have arrived in the first 15 minutes of the matches, so they make a very slow start to the game. So it suggests that we should push on really early. Leadership is the squad full of leaders and strong characters. So, alright, so this is how we're going to line up. Sissoko returns to the team. Dembele moves to the bench. Sissoko is also plays a box-to-box midfielder just to try and help provide some support to the attack in front. I'm not too worried about defensively. Wanyama does a really good job sweeping up behind the midfield, so I'm happy with that. Everyone else, unfortunately, is Harry Winks then also drops back. Unfortunately, he's left out of the team today. But on the plus side, Son and Llorente are available if I need to bring them on. Alright, so here we go. Lining up obviously a 4-2-3-1 now formation. They've gone a 4-2-3-1, very similar to us. Chicharito is up top. Arnautovic, Ayew, Noble, Obiang. Again, I can't stress how much I love that whole layout. I'm going to let the assistant manager do this time. Everyone reacted positively. I should probably just do that for now. I'll let my assistant manager do it just until I understand some of the ins and outs. So, I'm not going to comment to that. Honestly, he's been injured. Fair enough. Alright, moving on. Alright, so here we go on the warm-up. This is actually a warm-up screen just before the match itself. You can skip it if you want. It does, I think, add a little bit to the immersion. Not a great deal amount, but it's just a nice little bit of polish, you know. Alright, so early on here, first highlights. Okay, so it's already a little bit more exciting than that Burnley game a few minutes ago. Here's Ayew to Herrera to Arcabona. Again, I'm absolutely butchering these names, by the way. Here's Chicharito. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a good save there from Loris. Honestly, when Chicharito is through in goal, I do expect the net to bulge, but good save there from Hugo Loris. Mr. Dependable, and we defend it well there. All right, so that was the first highlight of the game. Good opportunity there for Chicharito to open the scoring. And it looks like the attack isn't quite over yet, believe it or not. Hits Herrera again to Ayew. Ayew to Obiang. To Chicharito. Gets inside the box again. Too easy, and they just come down. That's a penalty. I mean, how did the referee see from there? But that was a penalty. He fell over like a bag of bricks. And I think Chicharito is probably going to take this. No, it's going to be Mark Noble that's going to step up to take it. And Mark Noble shoots, and Lois gets the right way, but it goes in the back end of that 1-0. First goal of the season there for Mark Noble. Not a good start to this game either. Take another look at the penalty here. Yeah, Lois gets the right way. He clipped through the net trying to save it, but 1-0 to West Ham. All right, here's a chance here. Ericsson plays it to go to the edge of the Harry Kane. Gets in there. Harry Kane gets his first goal. I don't know if it's me, but it's kind of hard to see the ball. I mean, the highlights aren't that fast. I don't know if it's like the texture of the ball or something, but whatever this is, I can't. It's really hard to spot, and it took until the net started to move for me to even see it. But yeah, awesome, man. Back to 1-1. Harry Kane getting himself his first goal of the season, first of many, I hope. And here's another highlight straight away. Hopefully we don't concede. Be a little bit peeved that we concede straight away, but it's so good as well there to gather the loose ball. Here's Goethe. He's got an assist as well, so that's pleasing. Expecting him to get a lot of assists this year. Here's Dele Alli to Harry Kane. To Kieran Trippier. He's in a good position here. Trippier across it into Harry Kane. Ooh, I think they hit the crossbar as it went out. Chicharito through on goal now. Shoots, and what a save that was from Loris. Oh, it wasn't a save, actually. Just put it over. Alright, here's a chance at the end of the first half. Ericsson whips it in. Jose Fonte makes the clearance. It's Alderweireld. Here's Ericsson again. Crosses it in, and it goes off Zabaleta, and it's 2-1. Pablo Zabaleta scores an own goal right on the eve of first half. And we're 2-1 up. Alright, so we're not playing as well as I would have hoped going into the halftime break. Take a look at the analysis real quick. We gain possession in certain areas of the field. Hardly conceded any free kicks in promising areas. So we're not conceding silly fouls, which is pleased to see. Alright, so let's go into the second half. Not going to make too many changes quite yet. However, I am tempted due to the fact that West Ham have had a couple of really good clear-cut opportunities. And if we're not careful, they're going to start taking them. Here's Sissoko at the start of the second half, though. Trippier whips it in. That's a good clean take there from Joe Hart in goal. Here's Goethe leading the charge here. Mark Noble dispossessing him a little bit too easy. Here's Herrera to Arnautovic. Hits it forward. Chicharito's through on goal again. He's not going to miss this time, is he? No, he has. Jesus, we got very, very lucky. We're playing a very high line there against Chicharito. I might have to change that in a second, because we can't let him go through on goal too many times, because he will find the back of the net. Here's Davis to Goethe, to Ericsson. Ali to Sissoko. Vertonen. Where's he going? Finds Dele Alli on the right side. He crosses it in. That's Harry Kane. He's brought down in the box, but he's well cleared. Here's Wanyama. To Ben Davis. Ben Davis to Wanyama. To Dele Alli. Goethe to Ericsson. Oh, well played there. Goethe has a chance. Oh, that was a poor effort there from Mario. Should have made it 2-1. Sorry, 3-1. Alright, 70 minutes on the clock here. Let's make a change, shall we? So I clicked the right button for start. That's a good start. Alright, so actually I want to go to advanced tactics. How to do that? I think that's there you go. Advanced tactics, here we go. I can do list or I can do pitch. Let's do this. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little bit more traditional here. Let's take Ericsson's inverted ringer. And let's use Ali. Could bring on someone else instead. Could bring on Son instead. He's a bit more natural. Yeah, let's bring on Son there instead. He can be another inverted winger too, to support Goethe and Kane up top. Midfield, I'm going to bring on Fellaini. He can be a ball-winning midfielder. On support, Wanyama can be there. Okay, so it looks a little bit more solid now. Let's go to a standard as well. So a couple of drastic little changes to try and see out this game. We are 2-1 up. We are controlling possession. Here's a chance on a free kick. Ericsson whips it in. Looking for Fellaini. Can't win it. Here's Cresswell on the ball. Davis intercepts. Here's Kane through on goal. Surely this time Harry Kane scores. Joe Hart was left flat-footed there. 3-1. But again, that was... Again, the animation was very, very weird here. Obviously, this is still in beta. I think a lot of these things will be ironed out eventually. But the lack of reaction from Joe Hart there was a little concerning if you're a fan of this new match engine. Alright, here's a chance for Cresswell. And, oh, that's a good save, I think, from Loris. I may have hit the crossbar, but nevertheless, it doesn't go in, so... Right, almost the end of the second half here. Winning 3-1 here. This should be our first victory of the save. Looks, it ended up being a pretty comfortable game, to be honest with you. I mean, West Ham had their chances, but overall, we did pretty well to keep them at bay. Especially when you switch to the 4-4-1-1 formation. They haven't any chances since then. And that's a thundering tackle there from Victor Wanyama. Also, I'm not sure if it's the player models they've chosen, but everyone looks a little bit fat. I'm not sure if it's just me being harsh, but everyone looks a little fat this year. I don't know why that's the case. All right, so yeah, fucking awesome game, awesome win. All right, so well done, lads. Everyone's happy. Get the thumbs up from everyone, which is great. It'd be kind of awkward if that's actually happened in real life. Tell everyone did a good job, and everyone's like, yeah, thanks, boss, thanks. That would be a little strange, wouldn't it? All right, so good performances all around. Fantastic. Awesome. So 1 win, 1 draw, 3rd in the table. Good start. All right, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. About run out of time for it. The next episode I'm actually going to do is I'm going to follow up straight away because I have Liverpool, Man United, and then actually, then I've got a Champions League game and then Man City. That's a hell of a run. I don't know what we did to piss off the fixture manager, but Jesus Christ. So we have Liverpool, Man United, and then we have a Champions League game, and then we have Man City. So Jesus. And then we have Chelsea and Arsenal in a row as well in between 2 Champions League games. This could get a little bit rough. So what we're going to do is next episode, which will be out tomorrow, is going to be Liverpool, Manchester United. And then after that, we probably will do the Champions League game and Man City. We'll just do back to back to back. And then we'll start skipping a few fixtures. A few of the boring ones like Everton and Huddersfield. No disrespect to those fans. But at the end of the day, everyone wants to see the big clubs, let's be honest, especially in the beta. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoying this series so far. If you are, remember to smash that like button. And if you want to see more videos by me in the future and more Football Manager 18 content, please hit subscribe, turn notifications on. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.